Hello students, in this video today we are going to solve the output based question which is based on for loop. So this video is mainly made for how you can sort out the problems for loop with number of combinations. So let's start with the topic. The topic is for loop output questions in C easily explain. Why it is easily explains? Because you have already gone through with my previous video and I've already explained the previous video how for loop is working in this fourth step. So just take a revision in a minute. I'll explain how for loop is working. So I have divided for loop in four steps. This is for step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4. Step number 1 is initial value. After step number 1, loop will test the condition, that is step number 2. If your condition is true, you will come inside the block, that is statement. So it will execute the statement, that is step number 3. After the executing step number 3, it will go for the updation. And this, after this updation, it will repeat the condition test until your condition will be false. If condition will be false, then you will be exit from the loop. So just follow this flow and we can sort out number of questions based on for loop. So let's take example 1. Here I have written that note all the steps 1, 2, 3, 4. These steps I'm talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 are optional. Why these steps are optional? Because I'm going to give you solve the problem by removing all the step one by one with example. So let's take example number 1. In this example, this is step number 1. That means initial value. It is optional value. So I'm removing this optional value from this loop. So take a look with this example. Int I is equals to 2. Before started loop, I have initialized a variable I that is 2. That the value of I is 2. And in the braces, before semicolon, this is the first step. And I have written here it OP. OP stand for optional. That means I'm not putting any value inside this initial value. So how this loop will work? Let's check it. Initial value is I is equals to 2. So your loop will start from here. I is already 2. So it will go for the second step. 2 is less than 4. Condition is true. So it will come inside and print the value of I, that is 2. After the printing this statement, it will go for the updation. And here updation is I plus plus. That means first time I was 2 and now I become 3. So it will go again, repeat this step. Just follow these steps. After the implement the value of I, that is 3, it will go and check the again condition. 3 is less than 4. Condition is again true. So it will print the value of I, that means 3. Again it will update the value of I, that means it will be 4. So 4 is less than 4. Condition is true. It will print 4 and then update the value of I, that become 5. When the value of I is 5, let's check the condition. 5 is less than is equals to 4. Condition is false. So we will move out from the loop, exit from the loop. So loop will start. The output will be 2, 3 and 4. Now let's take another example. In this example, I am removing the second condition, that is condition test, or you can say step number 2. I am removing here OP stand for optional. It is blank. I am not writing here any condition. So let's take this example, how it will be solved. There's a variable I. The first step is initialize the value of I. I is 1. And second step, I'm not checking any condition. It is blank. It means whenever your loop not checking the condition and the middle part is blank, so just go through with the note. If no condition test or blank is there, so by default it will be true always means whenever there is no condition checking by a loop and just go and watch, it will be go for the infinite time. So this loop will go for the infinite time. So because there is no condition, it means the value of loop will be true always. Let's check with one by one step. Value of I is 1. Here is no condition, it is true. Come inside the block, print I, that means 1. Incremented the value of I is I become 2. Again it will go and check the condition, that is condition is blank, means it is true. Again it will print 2, then 3, condition is true. Come inside, print 3, again 4. So there is no condition, it means always it is true. So one by one it will print 1 2 3 4 5 and infinite time because condition is not there. So this loop is go for infinite time. So there is a conclusion. If there is no condition found or no condition test in this loop or any for loop, so it will be go for infinite time. Let's take another example, example number 3. Here I am removing step number 4, that is updation. I am not having any updation in this loop. So example 3 is there's a loop. The starting value of loop is 1 and the condition is I less than 5. It means it will go for 5 times. So here I'm not checking, here I'm not any updating value of this I. So how it will work? Step number 1, first value is 1. Check the condition, 1 is less than 5, condition is true, it will print I, that means 1. So it will go for the next step. This is step number 1, 2 and 3 and this is step number 4. And step number 4 is not updating any value, means no increment, no decrement. So the value of I remain constant in this program because it has started from 1 and checking condition I less than 5. Condition is true, it will print 1. No updation, it means I is constant, that is 1. Again it will check the condition, 1 is less than 5. Condition is true, it will print again 1. No updation, again check the condition, it will print 1. So there's no updation in this loop. So I will remain constant, that is 1. And condition will be always true because 1 is always less than 5. So this loop print infinite time because condition is true for infinite time because there is no updation. So this loop will print 1 2 3 4 infinite time because this is the node, no increment, no decrement, perform. So it will print 1 always because there's no condition which is updating any value and it will be true always. So it will go for the infinite time. Now there's example 4. Now I'm going to remove the step number 3. This is step number 3. That means this is you can write any step, that is step number 1 2 3 4 optional. So in this example I'm not taking any statement in this loop. So what will be the output of this loop? Let's check. Step number 1, I is 1, I less than 5, it will run 5 times. Condition is true, it will come inside, but there is no statement, there is no printing statement. It means it will not print anything on your console. And update the value of I by +1. So after the updation it will go for to test the condition again. Condition is what? I is 2, 2 is less than 5, that means condition is true. Again it will come inside the block and it will not print any value because here I'm not printing anything, there is no statement in this loop. So this loop will execute 5 times and that will not print any output. Why? Because we have not written here any printing statement. So what will be the output of this loop? output of this loop is it will run 5 times, but blank will be printed on your screen because there's no printing statement. Okay, now moving forward on example 5. Now I'm going to remove all the conditions from the loop. This is step number 1, this is step number 2, this is step number 3, and this is step number 4. So in this example, I remove step number 1, 2, 3. Means there's no initial value of this loop, there's no condition test, there's no updation in this loop. Only I'm printing here print hello inside the block. So how it will work? Just go through with the flow which I have given to you earlier. That is, start from here. Step number 1, no initial value. It will go for the condition test. That is step number 2. There is no condition. I have already given to you previous example that if there is no condition, that means your loop will be true. It will check for true. By default, it will go for infinite time. So it will print hello on screen, and then there's no updation. It means that doesn't matter you are incrementing the value of counter or not. So I'm not here, I'm not updating the value of variable. So how this loop will work? It will start and always it will be true. So it will print hello 1, 2, 3, 4 time, 5 times, 6 time, and infinite time. So this loop will execute it for infinite time because the value of the condition test is not here. So it will be go for infinite time. One more example on same example which I have given to you, this one. Let's take another example. I have used here no initial value, no condition test, no updation, no statement. So this is what? This is again infinite loop because no condition is there. If it is blank, it means it will go for the infinite time, and condition is true, it will come inside. There is no printing statement, it will go for the infinite time. So these are the steps. Step number 1, then step number 2, if it is true, come inside, execute this, and then step number 4, again repeat this condition. So condition is not here, that means it will repeat the process 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So this loop will execute it infinite time. It will go for infinite time, but it will not print any output. So your screen look like hanging. So the output of this program is, it will look like your screen is hanging. Now come to the next exercise. Let's check yourself and produce output one by one. These are some questions based on my previous step examples. Now just check the output of this program. Exercise produce output. So let's take example number 1. In this program, you must follow the step which I have already discussed with you earlier. So you must follow that rule and you will get exact output of each and every program which is written here on the page. So just check with the example number 1. I is equals to 1. I have taken a variable that is initialized by 1 before the loop, and when we are executing the for loop, this is step number 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Step number 2 is to come inside, execute, and step number 4 again it will check. So this is the flow. Let's check the flow. I is equals to 1. We can reinitialize the value of any variable anytime in the program. So before loop I was 1, and when we are coming inside the loop, initialize the value of I by 2. So it will start from 2. 2. Let's check this condition. I is greater than is equals to I. The value of I is first time 2. Check, 2 is greater than I is 2. Condition is true. So it will come inside and print what? I. I is what? Current value of I is 2. Now move to the updation. I plus plus. I become 2. The previous value was I 2. Now I become 3. Now in this step, I become 3. It will go and check the condition. What I'm checking here? I is greater than I. Every time the value of I is tested by or checked by itself, I is greater than is equals to. So every time it will be equivalent to I. So the value of I is 3. Condition is true. Again it will come inside and print what? 3. Next time I become 4. Condition is true. 4 is greater than is equals to 4. Come inside, print 4. So what will be the output? It will go for infinite time as per the given condition, because condition will be true every time. Just check this expression. I is greater than is equals to I. That means I is compared by I. So condition will be true every time. So it will go for again infinite time. So this loop is go for infinite time. And what will be the output? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, infinite time. Now check what will be the output of question number 2, exercise number 2. So let's follow the step. Int I is equals to 2. Before running loop, I have initiated a variable as the value of variable is 2. So this is what I have already given you idea. There is no condition. It means it will go for infinite time. No updation here, no initialization. That doesn't matter. You are initializing the value of a variable here or before the loop. So I is 2. Come inside. I remains same, means the value of I is 2. Check the condition. Condition is true. Without checking, it will come inside the loop and print what? I. I is what? What will be the output? I is 2. After the printing statement, this is post increment operator. Just after the printing the value of I become plus 1. Means the value of I is 3. And it will go for the updation. There is no updation. In this program, I'm updating the value of I in the same line, which is your statement, printing statement. In this statement, after the printing value, it will incremented by plus 1 always. So first time I is 2, condition is true. Come inside, print the value of I, that is 2, and it will be increased by plus 1. That means I become 3. No updation. Come inside, condition is true. It will print I, that means I is 3. Again it will incremented the value of I by 1. So previous value was 3. Now I become 4. Updation, no condition, print the value of I. So it will print 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to infinite time. So what is the output of this program? It will print 2, 3, 4, 5 infinite time. So you can see exercise number 1, question number 1 and question number 2, both are similar. Both are generating the same output. Now let's take another example. That's